Hello there, good afternoon. Domestic abuse survivors are calling for changes in the way plea deals are handled in Scottish courts. Liz Shanks, whose abuse was captured on camera, says she was left devastated when the Crown agreed to drop 7 charges against her ex-partner in a plea negotiation. Katrina McPhee has more, and this report contains footage that you may find upsetting.
What happened to me was traumatic, but the court process was traumatic as well. And it's frustrating, and you have no say. And this happened to me.
Chris Forrest was jailed for more than 2 years for a series of brutal attacks on his partner, Liz Shanks. Much of the abuse was caught on camera. The footage is too distressing to show anymore. When the case came to court in 2022, it wasn't the outcome Liz was expecting.
I got a phone call to say that was court over. He had been found guilty of 4 out of 11 charges. How 4 out of 11 charges? Wait, it was a plea deal. I was devastated. And much to my disappointment, there was one in particular that had supporting CCTV, of which he got off with.
Forrest was charged with assault to the danger of life over this incident. Liz says he strangled her in the car before slamming the door on her foot. A not guilty plea was accepted and the charge was dropped. The BBC asked the Crown Office and Procurator Fiscal Service about the reasons for dropping the charge, but a spokesperson said they wouldn't comment on specific decisions. In plea negotiations, the Crown can accept not guilty pleas to some charges if the accused pleads guilty to others. They say this avoids the need for a trial and the stress of witnesses having to give evidence. Liz is one of a group of abuse survivors who are calling for more rights for victims going through the justice process. The group's call has been backed by MSP Russell Finlay, who is trying to get the changes included in a new law.
We're not against the use of plea deals, but we think it's a basic requirement that there should be transparency around their use and that victims should be given a full explanation as to when they're used, why they're used and the terms that are reached.
Mr Finlay is proposing an amendment to the Victims, Witnesses and Justice Reform Bill, which would enshrine in law the requirement for a victim to be notified when a plea negotiation is reached in their case. Justice Secretary Angela Constance previously opposed the amendment. The campaigners are now asking her to reconsider. A Scottish Government spokesperson said Angela Constance was still willing to consider what more can be done to ensure victims receive the information they are looking for. Liz says that although she will soon have other demands on her time with a new arrival on the way, she intends to continue campaigning for change.
I feel like if I can help at least one person, if I can encourage one person to break free and report, then I'm doing something and I've made a difference and it helps me again in my recovery.
Katrina McPhee there with that report. And details of organisations offering information and support with domestic abuse are available at bbc.co.uk/action line, or you can call for free at any time to hear recorded information on 0800 888 809.